I'll call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Melinda? Here. Scott?
Here.
Sadie?
Here.
Angelica?
Yes.
Joy? Here.
Okay, item 3, approval of the minutes of the regular meeting held on July 15th.
I move to approve the minutes from the regular meeting held on July 15th.
Second.
Melinda?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Sadie?
Yes.
Angelica?
Yes.
Joy? Yes.
Discussion about the financial report, item number 4. Did you have some questions about the financial report? I feel like it looks really positive.
July was down a little bit compared to last July, but it's up compared to June. And then just for a little tidbit, August number, which will be on next month, but it's $34,804.50,
Okay.
which again is a little less than last August, but it's up compared to last month. So I thought that was great.
Well, and wasn't last July the Gold Bug reunion? Like
Yeah.
25? So,
Yeah, I think so.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, any other questions regarding the financial report? Okay. Number 5, Ranger Rodeo.
We're back.
How are you?
Great, how are you guys?
Thank you for coming to see us tonight.
Thanks for having us, and thanks for what you guys have always done for us in the past, especially. Typical, same thing as always, cattle are really expensive and we're going to have a rodeo again. So
Yes.
we're trying to continually think of new ways to keep people here longer and cut our costs and do some things like that. Obviously, we're getting to step into a new facility, which is great, but also brings along more costs and things like that.
Right.
So there are some opportunities for us that we've talked about there. There's more room for vendor spaces and things like that. We're trying to look at differently, but we don't exactly know what we're walking into this first year.
Right.
So you will see that we did ask for 5,000 more than we have in the past, but realistically last year cattle went up so much and things like that that we almost spent that much more last year without the cost of a new building.
Right.
So there is an increase in the cost of the building. There is an increase in the cattle charges. What we've done is adjusted that even more. The Thursday slack for the barrels went great, and it brought people into town early. We're probably going to move that up to noon this year and run all the barrel slack that day because that will get even more people coming in early. And then there will still be people having to stick around for the short go. We're going to add tripping this year to a Saturday morning slack, and there will be 12 of them in the short go. The best thing about them is they pay their own stock charge. There's a lot of trippers in this community. They really like that. A lot of people are going to be interested in that, so we're really excited to add that. Plus, it doesn't cost us anything.
Right.
Because they pay their own stock charge. It's a whole separate entity. It's still involved in college rodeo, but they have their own separate, not association, but their own separate, the way they pay their stock charge and the cattle they bring. So we just host it, they come, they pay for it. It doesn't cost us anything, and I think it will actually bring more people to watch. So we're going to add that this year. Sunday to the jackpot, we've been doing breakaway, and that's been going really well. Keeps people for an extra day. Again, we're going to add bulldogging, trying to keep some extra people. And I've been talking to Jalen about hopefully adding barrels. What they've decided to do is make that what they call the DC Circuit Finals. So pro rodeo wise, we're in the Prairie Circuit, we're Kansas and Oklahoma and Nebraska. That's classified as a circuit finals for people who don't necessarily pro rodeo. They can have a permit. So we get to hold the circuit finals on that Sunday with our jackpot. So it brings in even more people because it's co-sanctioned and it's their finals and they give special awards and things like that. And we still get to have our 60 girls that enter that as well. And like I said, then we'll add the bulldogging. They're going to pick the steers for the circuit finals at that jackpot. So that'll help us bring in everybody who's making the circuit finals. And then like I said, hopefully we're going to try to add the barrels where we've been talking to them and we can make that their DC circuit finals too. I don't know how far they've got on that, but we will at least try to have barrel jackpot also, but for sure the bulldogging will happen.
Okay.
We are hoping to add several more vendors like I mentioned earlier, so we've started earlier talking to people. We've already talked to a lot of people trying to bring in different avenues. When I went to the barrel race the other day just to kind of see what was there, there's like clothing and massage and horse medicine and things like that. So we've been talking to several more people since we have the space for it now, and I think that's going to go really well. Because we started a month earlier, again, because of cost, and hopefully we can find more sponsors. And we branched out trying to go to like Woodward and Enid's and things like that. So we're doing all these things trying to hopefully adjust for that, but I'm also hoping we bring in more gate money because of revenue because we have more space. So, and I think we'll have a lot of people interested. Like I said, we went there the other day and there was already a lot of people there. So, especially with the new facility, I think people are going to be really excited about it and want to come and see it. So, what kind of questions can I answer?
just really appreciate all the work you're putting into this.
Oh,
I mean,
thanks.
like, this is, like, you're really trying to hone it in. And,
Well, I mean, I understand you guys invest a lot of money in us, and we appreciate that, and we're asking for more, and that's always hard to ask for more, but we don't try to do it unless we have to.
Right.
But our deal is we try to make it pay off for you guys.
Right.
So if I can keep people in town for an extra day or two, or even a couple extra hours, I know that gives back to the community, and that's my biggest goal.
It sure does.
So Dr. Peggy and I have been talking about some other things to do, and we're trying to get the kids invested in the community as well as the community invested in the kids. My whole goal is for half of them to stick around and live here for the rest of their lives, and if I can get them invested in the community because they invest in them, that's the best way for us to do it.
Yeah, that's great.
So
Awesome. Any questions?
numbers are about the same. They're going up. We go up about maybe 3% every year. They're still growing. They're still increasing. Recruiting's getting harder, but numbers are still going up, so that's always a
That's
good
good.
problem.
And tell them your goal for this year.
Huh?
Tell them your goal.
Oh, win rodeo of the year.
Oh, that's
Yeah. There's only one rodeo in our region that adds money. I haven't guaranteed us to add money yet, but my goal is to raise enough money to add $1,000 an event. We've already ordered all-around saddles, so we're going to be one of only 2 rodeos in our region that give saddles as an award for the all-around. We did the title belts last year. People went crazy, thought that was awesome, so we're going to do those again. So we give like a WWE wrestling title belt instead of a belt buckle. People think that's really cool, and we love that. And to get an all-around saddle is a pretty big deal. So we've already ordered. We have a company in Texas that backed us and was really good, and we've already got a sponsor to pay for one of those saddles. So we got basically saddles at half the cost and a really nice saddle, and we've already got one covered and paid for. So we're gonna do some extra things and try to get everybody involved in it. And like do like special days, like maybe like a military appreciation day, do some pink days and things like that.
Awesome. Thank you for your passion for this and for the
Oh.
students that come here. And I mean, it's awesome.
I love it. I love to have them. I mean, and I know we beat a dead horse, but the support here is so different than anywhere else. So I'm happy to give because I get back. So
Okay, anything? Have a motion?
Go ahead.
I will make a motion to approve the NWSU rodeo for not to exceed 20,000.
Second.
Melinda?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Stacy?
Yes.
Angelica?
Yes.
Joanne?
Yes. Thank you, Kelly.
perfect. Thank you all so
Thank
much.
you so
Thank you
much.
all.
We appreciate it.
All right. Next, we have the Strike Gold Countdown Classic. Welcome, Haley. Is this your first time to visit the tourism?
Yeah, I'm
committee?
super nervous to follow Callie too, that's it. But I will say, my husband and I are products of that. We rodeoed and stayed here, so you guys can pass these around, those are special copies. But thanks for having myself, and Brooke is also here on behalf of the Booster Club, but we're here today to request some money to help us host a New Year's Eve and New Year's Day swine or pig jackpot at the arena. Now that we have that facility, I think it'd be really cool to bring those types of families into town. We don't have anything like that around. We're traveling an hour plus to be able to show our pigs in some instances, and so I think to have something here, we don't have a lot that goes on New Year's Eve. So to have something here where we can bring in different families from even different walks of life. Some of them are Edward Jones investment people by day and banker by day. So what kind of things could they come and see in our community or from the event center to bring other events to town? With that being said, we've kind of looked at the event as a 100-mile radius of Alva for people to attend. Last New Year's Eve, we went to Perry and spent the night in Perry because that's where the closest show was. So I can see those families, and let's backtrack and say on that, I'm nervous. I don't usually get that way. You're super nervous. That's a dirt floor facility that's not climate controlled on December 31st. It could be 10 degrees outside or it could be 50 degrees outside. So for us to offer something that's fully inside, people can bring their trailers inside, they don't have to go out and wash their pigs outside, that's a really big thing. So kind of Woodward, Panhandle out that direction, Fairview, Sealing, Watonga, over to Stillwater, Blackwell, Guthrie. I don't foresee any reason why those families would not want to come, especially when we can showcase what the facility is. We're looking to have some added money, again, to draw people in and want to come and feel like there's some reason to come. We're looking to add $5,000 for the 2-day show with 100% entry payback. A lot of times when you go to shows, you'll see a 70 or 75% payback. They take that money out to pay for the facility or pay for the pins or some advertising or whatever it may be. I think the more we can add to that. We're also looking at giving good awards. The WWE buckles is one of the things that we've kind of looked at because that's something different. Kids get a belt buckle every day. So we've looked at those. We've looked at like big rings because it's just something different to give. And again, be able to showcase and sell, hey, this is climate controlled, warm water, right? Yeah, we don't have that anywhere else that we go. You wash your pigs in cold water. So we can spend New Year's Eve together. They can come. It's an open show, so they don't have to be 4-H aged necessarily. So a lot of times you'll see real little kids, so I think we're exposing them to something new. But they also bring their families, their older siblings, their show jocks, whoever it might be, that when we're done showing, they're at the nightlife, they're at the troubadour, they're experiencing all these other things in town because we are a bigger community in comparison to the radius. We've budgeted to have somewhere for 200 to 250 pigs. I think that's actually pretty low, but I think we should also say that most families or most kids are going to show up and show multiple pigs. So 250 pigs doesn't mean 250 kids. One kid may show 6 or 8 pigs. One family might bring 15 hogs. So you have to look at that in comparison, and I think if you're not necessarily familiar with the industry and how it works, that may sound confusing. But again, that one family is bringing mom and dad and grandma and grandpa and siblings and their help, whoever that may be. The ag teachers are coming in, so one family may bring 10 people that then in turn eat or stay the night or go shopping, whatever it may be. We visited with Jay about the idea of having some vendors and different people out there to bring other things in town. Being over the holidays, downtown businesses may not necessarily be open, but they may be willing to set up a booth out there instead. Food in that same realm, I want to make sure we give our local businesses enough opportunity to say, we're bringing these people into town, can you stay open, or can you have your food truck or whatever it may be out there. Let's see what else. Tourism, potential tourism funding is just one component. With the way that the industry works, we're seeking a lot of regional sponsors. I've already mentioned to a couple of different breeders if they would be interested in sponsoring. Plus, you have some of your larger representation, like where we buy our feed from, such as Primo, Sullivan Supply, and other regional sales avenues that we buy things from. So we're not relying on Woods County or Alva or Alfalfa County necessarily to be the sponsors to make this all work. And I think that's another huge component of it. We will also sell pins, and then we've rented out the indoor arena to be able to sell premium trailer spots. So we'll sell those at an even higher price for another revenue stream to come in. I've started working on some of the branding and promotional. We're trying to play on Alva and Gold Bugs and New Year's Eve and all the things. So those are a couple examples. I started playing with some banners and things that will give away that'll follow all of that same look. But in hopes to make this something that next year when someone sees it, they say, yes, we want to come back to that. That was a great place to be. The people were friendly. The payout was good. The kids had a good time. It was a safe place to hang out and make this something that can go year after year. And then hopefully build from a booster club perspective and their backing. Hopefully build something where we can add sheep and goats or cattle or a judging contest or something else, a stalker contest, something else to go along with it. So it's not just one group of families that are bearing that for everyone else. I think that's kind of all that I have. What questions do you all have?
I don't know a lot about the world. We've covered a lot of it. So.
I like the product you guys have been to, the whole of it.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Any questions?
I'll make a motion to approve the Strike Gold Countdown Classic not to exceed $8,000.
Second.
Nolan?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Sadie?
Yes.
Angelica?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Haley. Thank you, Brett.
You're welcome.
Thank you for working with them, Jalen. Appreciate it.
You did great.
Yes, you did great, Haley. You can come visit us again. All right. Number 7, discussion and action for the Heart of Oklahoma Youth Rodeo Association. Are you Brad?
I am Brad.
Hi, Brad. Welcome to the tourism
Hey,
meeting.
That's a pretty tough act to follow. I
I
don't
know
know if I'm going to be able to do it or not.
So,
My name is Brad Dyke. I'm the president of the Heart of Oklahoma Youth Rodeo Association. We're a 501c3 volunteer-ran organization. We added a 10th rodeo to our season this year, and it happens to be at the Saltport Event Center, and we're very excited about that. It is very hard to find a good venue to host a large junior rodeo. We typically have anywhere from 130 at our largest, over 200 members in our association. And I think this year we're probably going to be coming in right around that 130 mark. Now what that means for a town like Alva is when we show up, most of our families will get here on a Friday afternoon. They'll stall their horses, they'll go buy Atwood's out of Shavings. They'll buy the local feed store out of Shavings because nobody likes to haul them with them. And then they'll proceed to go to Walmart and buy all the toothbrushes that they forgot at home. Food to feed all these kids. What I'm getting at is it's a pretty large economic impact. We hope to be at Saltfort for years to come. My vision for Hoira is to have 5 rodeos in this part of the state and 5 rodeos in the southern part of the state. We have members that come from Arkansas this year, the Texas Panhandle, southeastern Oklahoma, northeastern Oklahoma. I mean, it's a pretty diverse group of people. I think we've asked you guys for enough money to possibly cover the barn rent. Everything else we take care of. We pay for our stock charges, all that stuff. We have a few paid positions at our rodeo, our judges, our secretary, our rodeo secretary, and an announcer. But like I said, we're excited to be at Alva. I think it's going to be a pretty large event for us. We're probably going to have to stay at some hotels because I think you guys are still kind of working on getting enough RV hookups. I mean, we typically will go through about 50 RV hookups at one of our rodeos. And I'm sure we'll fill the stall barn up. It's going to be a fun event for us. So, the other places that we normally go, we go to Woodward quite a bit. We go to Grady County Fairgrounds there in Chickasha, and we go to Stevens County Fairgrounds in Duncan. But that's kind of where I'd like to make it go, is Chickasha, Duncan, Woodward, and Alva. And I think that's a very doable thing for us. Any questions about our event? Age groups, we have 4 different age groups, 6 and under, 7 to 9, 10 to 13, and 14 to 19. So we're actually trying to raise some of those kids to send right over here to the college to rodeo at Alva, and I think we've already probably sent quite a few.
I'm sure Kelly appreciates it.
But we'd like to send quite a few more.
Yes.
The college rodeo thing is just on fire right now, and we are happy to be able to supply that, that talent for those people. So.
How many years have you guys been?
We were founded in 2002 and 2003 season, so we've been around for quite a while. Yeah. I think this year our finals will be at the Grady County Fairgrounds in Chickasha. About a 99% chance that it's going to be live streamed on the Cowboy Channel at this point. We give away, our year-end prizes are just off the charts. We give away a minimum of 31 saddles. I think this last year we gave away around 152 buckles, top 8 prizes. Our title sponsor for last season and the next 2 seasons is Professional's Choice. I don't know if you're aware of them, but they're an equine brand that's based in Oklahoma City. They do everything from sports medicine boots, reins, halters, bits, spurs, pads, cinches, I mean, everything. And they also have an awards division too, so we utilize them for a lot of our awards.
Any chances of the finals ever coming to Alva if it goes well?
It's funny you say that. I think there's a very good chance. When we came up, my executive board treasurer and her husband, which he's one of our judges, our arena judge, and we all came up and toured the facility before we made a decision to have a rodeo here. And one of the things that we noticed is that it would be very capable of handling one of our finals events. And I think it would be, I mean, while we like to kind of have a little bit of uniformity to where we go, I think it's nice to be able to switch things back and forth for people that are from different parts of the state.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a lot of people rodeoing with us that are from this area, from the Woodward area, from the Texas Panhandle. This would be a lot easier journey for them than what Grady County would be. So yeah, that's definitely on the table and it's been discussed.
I'll make a motion to approve part of Oklahoma Youth Rodeo Association not to exceed $6,500.
Melinda?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Sadie?
Yes.
Angelica?
Yes.
Angela?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you guys very much.
Well, thank you for coming
Yeah.
and thank you for your work
You
on
bet.
this. We
You
like new events.
I'm gonna go-
too now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go find me a hotel room because I've been to Decatur and back this morning and now I'm leaving. Thank you, Jen. Appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
Good night.
Thank you.
All right. Item 8, reports and remarks from staff and committee members.
I can give you an update on a couple things. So we have changed our contract up with City Economics, but we're still getting the Placer AI data. I am wanting to see if we can maybe Melinda and Sadie and I can sit down. I want to come up with a way that we're more consistently getting our event requests to City Economics so that we can get the data on the events that, particularly the events that the tourism board is helping to sponsor, and maybe with the chambers, some other events that maybe aren't tourism, specific. But I do want to streamline that. I think we've got some options maybe with a form we can kind of do on our website. That said, I do have some numbers for a few different events. 4th of July, we did have, I had Roger Bazier 2 locations, the recreation complex and the fairgrounds. So there were 733 people visited the rec park. 78% of that was local, but 22% were visitors. And then at the fairgrounds, there were 645 people at the fairgrounds for the 4th of July. 19% of those were from outside of Alva. So I think, around 20% on a holiday weekend, it's hard to keep people in Alva for the 4th of July on a Saturday. So I was pretty pleased with that. We also have the grand opening for the event center, August 7th through the 9th. Showed 1,559 visitors. 36% were local. 64% were visitors.
Yay.
That's
That's awesome.
Good job.
Good job, Jalen.
There were 26 visitors from French Valley, California.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
But I thought that stood out.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
500 people from French Valley.
Way to go, Jalen. Good job.
And then, this isn't a tourism event, but it's pretty good numbers. The Waka Flocka from back on May 8th. And this is, I'm guessing not all of them went in because they probably would have exceeded fire code. The 250-foot radius of the nightlight, 1,300 people that day.
Wow.
52% visitors.
Nice.
So, the only other thing that, and I'd be happy to answer any questions if you got it, but the only other thing that I was going to mention is that we have nominated the Salt Fork Event Center for the OML Innovations Award for towns under 5,000 population, and I like our chances of bringing that award to Alva 2 years in a row. We won it last year with the swimming pool, and it's a pretty remarkable facility, pretty remarkable undertaking for any town, let alone one as small as Alva. So that's what I have to say.
Remarks and recaps from prior tourism grant recipients. I don't think we have anybody here. remarks and inquiries by citizens. Any of you citizens like to say anything?
He's like, I'm done.
Okay. Number 11, adjournment. Go ahead.
Before you adjourn,
Okay.
I could report on the 4th of July, more than just those numbers.
Oh, why don't you report on the 4th of July, please?
I think we're going to definitely probably need to seek additional funding next year. We're really going to need to just hire a crew to fire it.
Yeah.
It's the volunteers just aren't there, and I'm getting old. And sorry, so. But we felt like the event went well this
It
year.
did, and it was great fireworks.
And the turnout was good, and the finale was a little bit unanticipated. It just kept going on and on and on, but it was anticlimactic by the time it finally finished. But we got a bad video on what that box of shells was supposed to do. Or maybe it was a dud, I don't know. But the show was good, about another 20-minute show, and hours and hours of setup, but we lit up the sky.
Well, and thanks to Rotary and all the guys that go out there and do that. We appreciate that. So,
An all-day thing.
it's an all-day thing. I mean,
Multiple
my
things.
husband and my son have both worked on it before, and it's exhausting.
We did get to use some help from Bill Johnson's for taking the equipment out there
Yeah,
and
that's nice.
cleaning that up, so that was handy.
That's nice. So, and they came back the next day and helped pick it up.
Monday.
Monday. Wow. Awesome. So that is handy. Seriously.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Grateful for BJCC.
I will say that we may need to have a special meeting next week. I don't have all the information on it yet, but we have a omission from our agenda. We just need to figure out what's going on with that, and so as soon as I get that information, which will probably be tomorrow, I'll let everybody know individually and make sure that you can attend. So if that we'll have a quorum. So anyway, but yeah, so we haven't had a special meeting in a long time.
No.
So just one item that'll be on it. So anyway, we try not to have those